Hi guys, Harry Otis here, professional trader for over 20 years, started in 2005 and still alive in 2026. So let's get started with today, daily market update, Wednesday, this candle right here on a daily chart of the S&P 500. This is Wednesday, the 4th of February. Okay, we went another volatile day. This week has been very volatile with huge differences between highs and lows on every candle, okay? Today we dropped, you saw this huge wick, and we came back, okay? So the big news of the day is more bad news. Yesterday we had bad news, and today we have more bad news. We'll get to the specific areas of the bad news, but first let's talk about the technical picture. Let's bring in the moving averages. Very close. This is called yesterday we wicked the 50-day moving average, which is key, and came back. Today we retested it, broke it down here underneath the 50-day moving average, and then reclaimed. Okay, this could be, we're not sure, could be a bear trap. Okay, although we're not quite sure yet. We have to see how it develops going forward. I suspect it is, but you never know with these markets. Okay, so we are still bullish, clinging on to the 50, and every moving average is above the rest. So technically speaking, if you want to be super precise, we're still above the 50, although it's not really a line in the sand. We can violate it and go up again, violate and go up again, violate and go up again. It's not really a big deal, but there are CTA accounts, some momentum following accounts and funds that once there is a close below the 50, they will start selling. Okay, so we know that is going to happen, but we don't know what the other end of the equation is. Maybe the buyers come in and overwhelm the sellers. Okay, so we'll just keep that in mind. So as of right now, technicals are bullish. Let's hide the moving averages. We always pair the technical picture with the fear and greed index, sentiment index, still back at fear. We barely had 2 days in greed and just bypassed neutral all the way into fear. All the sub indices are at fear. Extreme greed on the strength, the stock price strength, because we're still above the 50, I guess. The breadth is coming back. We're still good, but everywhere else, put call ratio, fear, extreme fear. So just a little bit of bad news was enough to tank these markets from greed all the way to fear, okay, which serves our interests because we are bullish and we think this is a wall of worry. As you can see, this wick is the very same as yesterday. Okay, very wicky. People stepping up to buy, and nothing has been violated. Still a series of higher highs, higher lows. Okay, so sentiment to me is still bullish because we're in fear already, and nothing really bad is happening. Although there are some bad things under the cover, I'm just talking about the macro news is not bad. Speaking of macro news, we had some today. What was it? It was the services PMI that came out. I like to look at it. What is it today? It came out 52.7 versus 52.2 the end of the month. Okay, so it's expanding. It's expanding at a slightly higher rate. Services are never that bad. You can see they're almost always above the 50. The U.S. is more of a services economy, so if services are expanding, it's doing very well. So there's no real breakdown in the services here. So nothing to really worry about in the macro that came out today. Okay, so now let's go back to the mo bad news, which is today's theme of the day. Okay, the first thing we should look at is Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin, we mentioned yesterday, it's touching this key support level, going all the way back to the beginning of 2024 of around, let's say, 73K. Okay, yesterday it touched it. Can you see it? Yesterday it touched it and bounced, and today it's retesting it. Okay, so, and we also mentioned that we have negative divergence on the charts. You see here the RSI, which is PPO, but it's basically the same as the RSI. Negative divergence. You have the price going down while this is going up, and the slight negative divergence, maybe not so in the RSI. Okay, so it's not as clear cut of a technical negative divergence picture for the RSI, but it is for the MACD. So we have a number of conflating factors, plus the fear and greed index, I would say, for Bitcoin must be at dismal, like extreme fear levels. Okay, so we have a lot of technical and sentiment stuff that might be primed for a bounce, although I'm not crazy about the space. Okay, but I think it might just bounce. After today's bad news, they keep getting sold out. And our vehicle, Mara, is also at that same point. It keeps getting sold out. You see this? Very bad. but the price is going down, but this time the RSI and the MACD are very, very, like, clearly in positive divergence territory. Doesn't mean it plays out, but we have odds in slightly in our favor that the selling momentum might be coming to an end. We're not sure. Okay, so that's why I still have my long from yesterday in Mara. So that's the ugly. It's still going down in Bitcoin. It's still bad news. It's still hitting. We haven't had the rebound yet. Okay, but this is when you have to buy, when you don't really want to. Okay, but my risk is very minimal. Okay, I'm not taking a big move on Bitcoin because I don't think it rebounds hard. It might rebound to 87, 85. Okay, in which case I will get out fast. Okay, because I don't think this is positive news going forward. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. That's one of the more bad news that we saw today. The other thing that I noticed is the uranium sector. Okay, the uranium sector got hit. And basically, if you look at it, where is it here? If you look at a chart of the chart, a watch list, if you will, of all the commodities. Okay, here is uranium. The price fell by $2.30 below the 100 mark, so down 2.26%. So people were freaking out and they sold their uranium stocks. And we always look at CCJ, the market leader, big move, down 9% on the day. However, if you just calm down and look at it dispassionately, you see that it just touched a key support level, now was resistance, now support, and it bounced right back. So this was if it retested, it's a great time to buy the uranium, I think. Okay, because I don't think it tanks that much, especially since the market, I believe, is still very bullish. Okay, so you have to pick a technical point to get in, and then give yourself some time for it to play out. Okay, so that's the uranium play on the day on the market leader. I like to see the market leader, although there's Denison Mines, there are others like that. Very similar story, although this one didn't really touch this level right here. That's market. Didn't really touch the equivalent of the Cameco, but it did make a wick just like Cameco did. Okay, so still this is down 10%. All the uranium is going to have the same kind of chart. Okay, so you have this temporary fear in the uranium sector, which I think is a buying opportunity going forward. Okay, and of course the other fear was the market itself. Okay, we see this going under the 50. If we bring in the moving averages, right under the 50, but reclaimed it. Okay, it's a battle going on, and you have to be prepared. Okay, I'm still bullish. I love this volatility. I love the fact that everything is being shaken out. Okay, and the other big news of the day is Google earnings. Okay. Google actually did very, very well. Okay. If you look at financial juice here, Google, Alphabet, their revenue beat by $2 billion, and so did their earnings. But this year, if you can see the capex, okay, capex of $91.45 billion versus the estimate of $28.17. This is because they're going to spend a crap load of money on AI. Now, how is the market going to interpret it? That's how you have to look at it. Okay, so if you can see, it's pretty much flat trading. You can't really tell. It's at 334.2 versus 333.3. It's really basically flat after market, even though they beat on earnings. The market needs to digest this AI spend because it's a lot. I like Google's pretty strong, but to me, I'm not buying it. Okay, I'm just waiting to see what this stock does because this is the leader in all of the other like Mag 7 stocks. Okay, every other Mag 7 stock is taking a hit. Like Microsoft down. Okay, it's getting close to covering this gap. This would be a great buy on Microsoft if you guys want it. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Still there, broke, still holding. Okay, so you have a lot of the Meta. It did cover the gap as we anticipated, but then all the way back down again. Okay, after earnings, it beat on earnings and everything. Cover the gap, and then that's it. Okay, so Google looking good. I'm looking at it as a barometer of the market. If it does well, the market should do well. If it tanks, if this was down 10, 20%, forget it. SPY would be in trouble. So that's why it's very tough to see where the quote-unquote bottom is after a move down. But when I see we're already in fear, I mean, this if it drops down to like this level, like 675-ish, we're going to be in extreme fear. It's like already, like people were already going short here. Like they're already covering their butts. So I don't see a big move if the market happens to go their way. It might be a reason to, buy the rumor, sell the fact, cover your short right away if you're short. Okay, so to me, this all looks bullish. So let's recap. Okay, we had the market. I like it. I think it's bullish, but it's fighting a battle with a 50-day moving average. We have to wait and see what that happens. Although to me, it's bullish. All the moving averages are above each other and upward sloping and to the right. That to me is very, very bullish. Still, no technical damage has been done, despite constant bad news in the media. You know, like we're going to war or whatever. Okay, you see the fear and greed index is at fear already at highs, and that is good for our bullish thesis. We're climbing a wall of worry. We also had the services PMI coming in at 52.7 here versus 52.5 previous. Perfect. It's still expanding. No problem here. The macro is still with us. We had some bad news. Well, CCJ uranium stocks falling uranium prices that we saw before. They were down 2.5%. Still waiting for a good reason to buy. This was too fast to see, okay? It might even undercut it. It might even retest this level, okay, the 95, 96 level. We don't know. We have to wait and see. Although a lot of bad news is coming out at the same time, and I like to see that, and the market is holding up, okay? Denison Mines was the other one that we looked at. Similar story, okay? They still look very, very bullish to me. I don't see any problem with this sector at this point. The problem that I see is in Bitcoin, although I think the sheer negativity coming out, it might be a case to buy it. You don't know. I took a very, very small bet, like half of what my usual risk is, to play a bounce because of all of the factors, the technical factors here, which is like hitting big level at 73,000 and positive divergence. And I decided to play Mara because it was the negative divergence was more pronounced. So although I'm not crazy about the sector, I believe it might bounce maybe to the 14, 13, 15-ish level in on Mara, and that would be, I guess, the equivalent of maybe 85 to 90 in Bitcoin. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. It's a short-term trade. That's all. Okay, and of course the bellwether, the leader of the group, Alphabet, announced, and as we speak right now, I guess the market likes it because it just bounced up to 347.50 from 333. So I guess it does like the AI spend of 92 billion versus what, 20 something, the capex spend of 92. What was it? Let's see here. Oh, the capex of 91.45 billion versus 28 billion. I guess the market does like it. Okay, so that's it, guys. If you like what you hear, like it, subscribe, and of course leave a comment, and I'll answer it below. So yes, we are seeing a lot of bad news, a lot of worry coming out. No need to worry because that's what you want as a bull. You want this market to climb a wall of worry and everybody's scared to go long, and you're going long just when everybody doesn't want it. I mean, that's what it takes. I mean, if you just trade when you're happy, if you buy when you're happy and sell when you're sad, you're not going to make any money. Okay, so let's look forward to what happens on Thursday, tomorrow, and the end of the week. Okay, I think it might be bid and going to approach the highs. Let's see later.